We're going to go out to the Beltway Mobile Paw Patrol in just a moment, but first, I know there's some Gamecocks listening, and you're looking for a place to eat. Well, we've got it for you right here.
Hi, everybody. This is Coach Lou Hope, and I want to tell you about something brand new that you've got to try. I'm proud to introduce my new restaurant, Gamecock Burger. You're going to love it. It's unbelievable. It's the grand opening of our first location, 2 blocks from Williams-Brice Stadium. So come on by before the game or at halftime when you're heading home. Now, at Gamecock Burger, our burgers are special. I truly believe Dan, excuse me just a moment. What is it, Skip?
Dad, could I be manager of Gamecock Burger?
Skip, I already gave you a job.
I know, but you know, you said if I came to Columbia, I could share in all the perks, you know? Remember?
Well, Skip, I just... okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to meet the manager of Gamecock Burger, my son, Skip.
Thanks, Dad.
Okay. Go cook something or whatever. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I told our staff at Gamecock Burger, I believe that we could be successful. Not because of Lou Hoax, not because of his son, Skip, but because our burgers are special. Why? Gamecock burgers are not made from beef. We use only the finest chicken to make our burgers. Our chicken is raised in the Carolinas, prepared in Columbia, pounded in Tennessee, ground in Georgia, barbecued in Baton Rouge, and fried in Florida. And right now, bring the family in for our grand opening special. We call it our 1 and 10. Buy 1 Gamecock burger, get the next 10 free. It's unbelievable. That's our 1 and 10 special going on right now. So come on in and see us at the brand new Gamecock Burger. Hey, listen, don't take it from me. Take it from everybody who's tried them. Unlike our team, Gamecock burgers can't be beat.
I understand they might be adding another little thing to the process. I understand after tonight they might be smoked in Raleigh even.
We can only hope.
Well, right now let's go to the telephone on the Tiger Tailgate Show. Hello there.
Hey, man. It's me, the king. What's happening?
Hey, Elvis, is that really you?
That's right, man. I'm living in Orangeburg now.
Come on.
You know how I love football, baby.
Yeah, I know.
I'm a big Clemson fan, you know. I mean, big.
Big, yeah, I'll bet big. Listen, it's great to hear from you, Elvis. Are you doing okay? Are you back in shape, or are you still a little on the heavy side?
Well, sir, I try to watch it some, man, but I'll put it like this.
Yeah.
Whenever I dance, let's say I make the band skip.
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty big, Elvis. Well, hopefully there aren't any other health problems, are there?
Well, now, since you bring that up, you know, the doctor told me. He said, I got that flesh-eating disease, you know.
Oh, man, that can be fatal in just weeks.
Yeah, but he gave me 13 years.
Well, it sounds like you still haven't learned to control the old diet, Elvis.
No, sir, I hate to admit it. But I put mayonnaise on aspirin.
That can't be too healthy, Elvis.
No.
Well, if it's not too personal, what size pants are you up to now?
I don't know, man. But I have to iron them on the driveway.
Man, we're talking circus attraction here, aren't we?
Well, sir, my trainer says the back of my neck looks like a pack of hot dogs.
Good grief. Well, what about work, Elvis? Are you still in the entertainment business?
Well, no, sir. I'm sort of retired.
Yeah.
Right now, I just sell shade.
Well, have you ever thought about seeking help from other sources?
Yes, sir. Last year, I submitted myself for a study by a group of scientists.
Well, did they find anything?
Yes, sir. They found 3 other small people orbiting around me. Well, look, man, I better go. I got to find that boomerang.
Boomerang? What's that for?
I have to use that to put my belt on, man. Hey, good luck to Coach Bowden and the Tigers today, Daddy.
Well, thank you, Elvis. It's great talking to you, and thanks for calling.
Yeah, TCB, baby.
All right, thanks, E. Well, this is for you Gamecock fans especially, and thank you very much. We have Coach Lou Hoax on the telephone right now, and thank you so much for taking time to talk with us today, Coach.
Good afternoon, and how's everything on the Tiger Tailgate Show?
Going okay, Coach. Hey, thanks for being with us today. Well, Coach, you opened up with a loss at NC State last week, and you're back on the road later this afternoon at Georgia. That's got to be one of the toughest places to play in the country.
Yeah, somebody said, Coach Hoax, would you rather play in a hurricane at NC State or between the hedges in Athens? And I said, what's my third choice?
It can't be any fun.
Well, nothing's easy about our schedule, you know, and we just got to play them one at a time no matter what. Look, I'm just glad Georgia's going to have all their players going up against us, because if we win, I don't want anybody saying it wasn't against the best that they had.
Why? Was there some question about one of the Georgia players for this week's game?
Well, yeah, you know, for a while it looked like Gaylord Dawson wasn't going to play for him. He got pulled over by a state trooper for weaving all over the road.
Oh, really? Wow. It wasn't driving under the influence, was it?
Well, the trooper asked him about it, you know, and Dawson said, well, thank goodness you're here, officer. I almost had an accident. And, you know, I looked up, and there was a tree in front of me, and I swerved to the left, and there was another tree in front of me. I swerved to the right. There was another tree.
Wow.
So the trooper reached inside the car to the rearview mirror, and he said, Mr. Dawson, that's your air freshener.
A great player, maybe, just not a mental giant.
Hey, he was the same kid, you know, when the school newspaper interviewed him and said, if you could have a conversation with someone, living or dead, who would it be? And Dawson said, the living one. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think this kid's majoring in physics or anything.
I guess not. But, well, Coach, thanks for your time, and hang in there with Georgia today.
Hey, look, I know you don't mean it, but thanks.
Coach Lou Holtz, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much for joining us today. And that's for you Gamecock fans, so we do give you some attention after all.
It just doesn't get any easier for him, does it?
Poor old Lou. You know, last year about this time, they're all saying, next year, I hear we're going to have Lou Holtz as a coach, and that's going to change everything. Yeah, it changed everything. You don't have that one win at the first of the year.
Is that what you call Lou Ball?
I think that's what you call Lou Ball on the Tiger Tailgate Show.
The Gamecocks are playing, there ain't much hooraying. The offense is starting from their 10. The best position they've had, there's gotta be something bad. Oh yes, another fumble, well they coughed it up again. They're playing Lou Ball, making no receptions, playing Lou Ball, throwing interceptions. Here's a running play that goes for 3. But -10, a holding penalty. They're playing Lou Ball in the SEC. The fans must be willing to witness a killing, 'cause that's what they're seeing every week. You've heard of the chicken curse, well baby it's getting worse. They've put together the nation's longest losing streak. They're playing Lou Ball, always getting plastered, playing Lou Ball. 100% disaster, an unbelievable catastrophe. The coaches and the fans in agony. They're playing Lou Ball in the SEC. Lou Ball, no one they're defeating, playing Lou Ball. Always taking a beating. How awful can a Division I team be? Well, come on down to Williams-Brice and see them playing Lou Ball in the SEC.
Yes, they're playing Lou Ball and played it again today.
Yeah, that final was 30 to 10?
30 to 10. It was in the second quarter. It was 20-3 at one point. And coaches are very diplomatic, especially in their press conferences. You know the old thing about you don't want to give somebody to hang up on their bulletin board in the locker room. But they asked Coach Bowden, what's up with South Carolina? And, you know, most coaches would just say, well, we can't worry about South Carolina. We got to worry about our game. We go to North Carolina State. But that's not what he said. I loved it. He said it must be the chicken curse.
Oh, wait a minute. You got that, Mike? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, we'll play it.
I think there's only one thing. Got to get rid of the chicken curse. I don't know what it is. I don't know where it is, but I heard Coach Holt say he's starting to believe in it. Whatever that is, I'd find the solution. They need to go down to New Orleans and get them voodoo potions down there. They go down there. I'm sure down in New Orleans they can solve that voodoo chicken curse, whatever. But I got my own problems here. I sure they can't evaluate theirs.
He finally got back to what a diplomatic coach is supposed to say.
The funny thing is, Holtz is sitting there writing this stuff down, you know. He's going, let's see. Okay. Now, where was that voodoo curse thing available?
New Orleans, Coach.
Got to go to New Orleans. Book me on the next flight to New Orleans.
It's got to be the chicken curse. I'm sure we'll be hearing lots more about that. I thought you were giving me the chicken bone, chicken wing sign. We're taking a break now on the Tiger Tailgate Show. I don't know how many people listening seen the Lou Holtz television show that's on Sunday, and in some markets it's on at the same time as the Tommy Bowden show. And do you watch the Tommy Bowden show?
Yes, I do.
Oh, really? I'll bet you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, because okay, what high school did Woody Dantzler go to?
Listen, I don't know where. That's all the show is about is where they're from, who their mom and daddy are, and where they went to high school.
That's right.
It must be the easiest show to script in the world. All Coach has to do is the kid's mama's name and where he went to school.
Well, but if you watch the Lou Holtz show, it's all about injuries.
In fact, if you don't have a chance to watch it, we have a little preview for you here on the Tiger Tailgate Show. Welcome to the Coach Lou Holtz Show. I'm Charlie O'Malley, Mac McElhaney, Mac Alexander. Coach, we're going to look at some highlights from the Ole Miss game and take a look at Kentucky. Unfortunately, that losing streak for the Gamecocks was extended last Saturday against Ole Miss.
Well, our problems boil down to several key areas: injuries, lack of talent, no depth, total inexperience on the offense and defense, and incredible bad luck.
Are you saying you're starting to believe in the chicken curse?
Right now, I think a curse would be an improvement, but this is more along the lines of demonic possession.
Well, let's get to the highlights, Coach. We'll start with the opening kickoff.
We receive, and they kick it 9 yards deep in the end zone. We decide to run it out. We get to the 2. Boo Williams is hit there, fumbles the ball, unfortunately. Ole Miss runs it in for a touchdown. We lose Williams for the season.
On the next series, Coach, the Gamecocks start at their 20.
It's first down. We try a short pass in the flat. Ole Miss picks it off, goes 20 yards for the score.
Okay, Coach, we're 50 seconds into the first quarter, and Ole Miss is up by 2 touchdowns.
We receive and bring it out to the 4. We try 3 running plays, get 2 yards. Punt. Could have had a first down there, Charlie, but our 4th-string tackle missed a block, twisted his knee, and we lose him for the season.
How many injuries does that make this year, Coach?
Well, so far, Charlie, we've lost 38 players for the year. 19 more will miss the next 4 games, and 11 are listed as doubtful for the next 2.
How are those band members working out, Coach?
Well, the trumpet player is showing signs of improvement at tailback, and those 2 drummers at linebacker aren't there yet, but we're working with them.
We hear the new tuba player has some speed.
He's fast, Charlie, but right now we need him on the line.
All right, Coach. We pick up the action in the third quarter. Ole Miss leads the Gamecocks now 84-0.
We make our best defensive play of the game right here. Ole Miss tries a quarterback draw on 3rd down. Our safety's there to put a hit on him after a gain of only 42.
I believe that was their shortest running play of the night, Coach.
Shortest run. Unfortunately, our guy tackles their quarterback a little too hard, breaks both arms, and we lose another great player off our scout team for the season.
Coach, after that, you went to a new strategy for the remainder of the game. You punted on 1st down.
That's our version of the hurry-up offense. We think it worked pretty well for us.
It seems like you were able to contain Ole Miss, especially after they started playing only 3 players on offense and defense.
Yeah, I think our guys were getting into a rhythm in those last few minutes.
Something to build on, Coach. Ole Miss goes on to win it 154-0. Well, Coach, you've got some tough games coming up. How will you deal with all the injuries?
Unfortunately, we can't compensate for all of them, but we're looking at a cook in food services, and if we can find a uniform for her, we think she can play for Carolina.
Well, Coach, we'll be here next week to talk about that Kentucky game. Any new wrinkles planned for that one?
We got a new arrangement of We Are the World. It's just outstanding.
Looking forward to it. For Coach Lou Holtz, I'm Charlie O'Malley, Mac McElhaney, Mac Alexander. See you next week. All right. And before this year, I was not familiar with the chicken curse. I'd never heard it before. But you know what? It works wonders for Clemson and Carolina fans who like to tease each other. Like after a loss to Virginia Tech, you have Carolina fans coming up to you. Yeah, y'all face some competition, and then you just say chicken curse. And, yeah. But you see that guy? Did you see that defensive end come up? Chicken curse, chicken curse, chicken.
This is the trip, I guess, once a year we try and have all the wives make it. And Linda, tell us, your first few months in Clemson, how's it going for you?
Oh, it's been great. My project, of course, Tommy's project is to get these Tigers on the winning track. My project has been to build a house. So that's what I've been working on right now, and it's moving along. We've got the sheetrockers going, so we're hoping to be in after Christmas, the first of the year.
Oh, that'll be great. Now, it's got to be tough. You've been a coach's wife now for a while, and they spend a lot of time on the road recruiting and whatnot. How do you deal with that?
It is tough. All of these women know that you have to be a strong, independent kind of woman. We don't have the kind of husband that can come home and take out the trash or fix a leaky faucet. They're just not available. Yeah. And I can remember in our early married years, I used to get a little depressed once in a while. And I can remember, I think Tommy was recruiting at Duke at the time. And I remember it was January and it was kind of dreary and all that. And he was upstairs getting ready to pack to go on a recruiting trip. He was whistling and just having a good time because he really enjoys the recruiting process. Right. Going out and meeting these young men and their parents. And I can remember I was feeling a little bit sorry for myself. My kids were small, and I looked over at Tommy and I said, Tommy, sometimes I think you love football more than you love me. Well, he stopped what he was doing, came over, sat down on the bed next to me, put his arm around me, looked at me and said, yeah, but I like you better than basketball.
Well, that's something.
So, sorry, Coach Shiat, but...
Well, I got to ask you, now, we don't want to look past today, but has there been any trash talking in the family about next week?
A little bit, but we just don't answer the phone. I said, next week we're just, we're going to hope that, it kind of reminds me a little bit of the battle between David and Goliath. And we know who won that battle, so,
That's right, that's right.
But Tommy will close the gap, in a few years. He's going to get some of those, good players. We were talking the other night, and I think Florida State's probably going to have 20 or so players drafted this year.
Yeah. Wow.
So, it's almost going against a professional team in a lot of ways. Yeah. But we have hope. Tommy's not going to be intimidated. He'll have them ready. And he does know his dad a little bit, and he'll be ready for whatever tricks his dad will throw at us.
Well, we're sure looking forward to that, and we want to thank you for stopping by, and it was good to see you again, and good luck to the Bowden family and the Tigers.
All right, appreciate it.
We just had Lynn Bowden stop by, and of course talking a little bit about that game next week, Florida State, and there's been all the talk about Peter Warrick, and it's an unfortunate thing that happened to Peter Warrick, what with the incident at the Dillard store and all, but I believe there may be a silver lining in that dark cloud for Peter Warrick. The reason being, he's working that second job now. There was a career opportunity in this for Peter Warrick.
Tom, mind if I talk to you honestly?
Sure, Bob. Go ahead.
Look, Tom, you're a bright guy. You work hard, energetic. You're a team player. Why do you want to sabotage your career?
Well, I wasn't aware that I was. I mean, how do you figure?
Well, like I said, I'm going to be honest. It's your clothes.
Are you saying that I'm not dressed for success or something?
Tom, you're not even dressed for failure. I got to tell you, I've seen better-looking clothing in a funeral home wardrobe department.
Well, what am I supposed to do? I mean, you know how much fine clothing costs these days. The company would have to double my salary before I could afford that stuff.
The way you're headed, Tom, they're not going to double your salary. They're going to eliminate it.
Oh, now you're exaggerating.
Oh, yeah? I happen to know the boss is embarrassed to take you to lunch anymore.
Oh, really? He told me it was my breath.
Trust me, bad as your breath is, it's really your clothes.
All right, so what do I do? I mean, sell the car and the house?
Neither one, Tom. One trip to Peter Warrick's will solve the whole problem.
Peter Warrick's? Don't think I've ever heard of it.
It's great, Tom. They've got everything. Top-of-the-line designer fashions and at prices you won't believe.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, check out this suit. 100% silk, Ralph Lauren.
Yeah, it's great, all right, but it probably sets you back $1,200.
Maybe at other places. I got it at Peter Warrick's for $29.95.
What?
That's right, and the shirt, Tommy Hilfiger, $3.
Man, and is that a Versace tie?
Pretty sharp, huh?
Yeah, I've seen them in the men's clothiers for over $200.
Why pay that when Peter Warrick's has them 2 for $1?
Wow. At those prices, I mean, Why even get anything clean?
I don't. It's cheaper just to throw the stuff away.
No wonder I never see you in the same suit twice. So you just toss them, huh?
Oh, well, I'll probably go home today and change the oil in my car. But after that, it's the trash can for this baby.
Bob, you've convinced me. I mean, I'm heading over to Peter Warwick's right after work today. Where is it anyway?
Okay, you know where Dillard's is, right?
Yeah.
There's a little dark alley right behind the store. Peter Warwick is there every afternoon between 1 and 3. Just bring cash, no large bills.
Hey, thanks, Bob. You know, I think you've saved my career. Tomorrow, I'll be dressing better than John Gotti.
Hey, you're not too far off, Tom. Now, about your brand.
Peter Warwick's Wholesale Clothing. Wall Street attire on a college football player's salary.
All right, yeah, that's looking ahead to next week, Clemson and Florida State. We're going to the First Union stage, and Dwayne's going to entertain for us.
All right.
Let's have a big hand for Duane Evans, by the way. He does a great job every week at all the home games.
Gosh, Bill, that is too nice.
What are you going to do?
I guess all that whining I did some good.
Yeah, it did.
I'm going to do a song about running down the hill.
Okay.
Well, it's a beautiful day in Tiger Town. You got your tailgate down. You are grooving. In your mind, you and Frank are singing a little tiger rap, so sublime. Running down the hill, Tiger's gonna take the field. Everybody's got cold chills for college football's greatest thrill. The Tigers running down the hill. Team so high and all warmed up, they leave the locker room to take that ride. There's something good waiting down that hill. They all take a deep breath, then rub that rock. Running down the hill, Tigers gonna take the field. But everybody's got cold chills for college football's greatest thrill. The Tigers running down the hill. Running down the hill, Tigers gonna take the field. Everybody's got cold chills. College football's greatest thrill. The Tigers running down the hill. Thank you.
Let's have a big hand for Duane Evans on the First Union stage. Great job once again.
Thank you.
Well, we thank you for joining us this afternoon. We got a lot of things going on. We're going to, in fact, she's here. She's here now.
We have a Bowden. We have a Bowden on stage. Linda Bowden, come on up here. Linda, we've been talking about you and the family this morning a good bit. Now, it must be kind of a weird feeling for you. You got mother-in-law who won't even sit with you. You know,
I don't even know where she is, put it that way. But yeah, we had a good time last night at the Daniel football game. That was kind of like the peace before the storm or whatever. But
well, who all went to the football game last night? Was it just the four of you?
Daniel won 70-10.
Yeah, I know.
We were saying that was kind of reminiscent of a Florida State Bobby Bowden type score. almost.
Yeah, a lot of offense. So
How long have you and Tommy been married now?
22 years, and we dated 7 years before that.
Wow.
So almost 30 years. I'm getting pretty old.
No, you're not getting pretty old. But so you were around even when he was playing. He actually played at, but he was a walk-on at West Virginia. Is that right?
Well, he walked on at West Virginia, yes, and then he earned a scholarship. But I was even around before that when he played high school ball. So.
Oh, really? I understand you used to yell in the ball games for his daddy.
Well, I did. I remember, like I said, today Tommy's mom and I will be not sitting together.
Yeah.
But I can remember back several years ago, we were sitting in the stands on a Saturday afternoon. It was a beautiful day, kind of like today, just a great day for a football game. I don't remember who West Virginia was playing. Tommy's dad was the head football coach at West Virginia at the time. And it was the beginning of the third quarter, and West Virginia had a pretty good lead, but Tommy had not gotten to play. Well, this didn't sit very well with his mom, and so so she started cheering, "We want Tommy! We want Tommy!" Well, of course, I thought this was a great idea, so I joined in, and pretty soon we had the whole section cheering, and it was really getting pretty loud, and West Virginia finally got the ball back, and we saw Tommy's dad kind of turn around, and he signaled for Tommy, and, you know, Tommy's mom and I, you know, we perked up in our seats. We thought, great, he's finally going to get in and show everybody just what a great football player he is. And I could tell Tommy was a little bit excited too. He grabbed his helmet, he put it on his head, he jogged up there. But when he got there, his dad turned around and he pointed up in the stands and said, "Tommy, go up and see what your mom wants. She's been calling for you."
So he did not get in the game.
He did, and he did very well. He earned a scholarship, which is tough for a walk-on.
Yeah.
And he started his junior, senior years, and he even earned a spot on the Churchman's All-American team. So he made his mom and me very proud.
Well, so it's not like Little League football where they say, he just gets to play because his daddy's a coach.
No, you've probably got a little hint of the Bowden family this week.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody in that family gives anybody anything. You've got to earn it.
Now, weren't your folks here last night also for that game?
Yeah, my folks are here, and they're somewhere over there. Yeah, they came from West Virginia, and then when they leave here, they're retired, so they'll head down to Fort Myers for the winter.
Did they enjoy the game?
They did. We had a nice time. It was nice for Ryan to have both sets of grandparents there, and it was just a lot of fun.
You know, if Clemson wins this game tonight, Linda, a lot of Tiger fans might go to Florida for the winter. We just go down there and celebrate, you know, for a while.
That's right. And shop at Dillard's, right? I'm going to be in trouble.
Well, you know what?
You are. Because we've been holding back for an hour and 15 minutes. We were told not to talk about that.
But you can.
But you can, because they told the three of us do not talk about playing the Seminoles. And so you got us in trouble.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said that, I guess, you know, but I told Tommy, I said, tell him, thanks a lot, Dad, you know.
Well, we certainly do appreciate you coming by, and we're looking for a lot of excitement tonight, and I'm sure there'll still be excitement around your house this weekend.
That's right, and everybody, go Tigers!
All right.
All right. Linda Bowden.
Of course, the Bowdens are going against one another tonight, and there's a lot of excitement about that, not only here, but, of course, in Seminole country and really all across the country. And we have somebody here who knows both the Bowdens is going to tell us a little story about it.
Well, yes, sir, youngster. Former coach Danny Boers.
Yeah.
Gather around, youngsters. Danny's going to tell y'all a story of Danny Locks and the three Bowdens.
Oh, this sounds good.
Once upon a time, there was a coach named Danny Locks who's successful at everything he ever done. Except one time, he went out to Arkansas, and Frank Brawl said, "Get on out of here, Danny Locks." And so Danny Locks said, "Okay, Frank, I'll just go back home to my farm and count money." So he did. Now, when Danny Locks wasn't counting money, he was out counting his cows. And one day when he was out there counting, one of them was missing. So Danny Locks went way out there in the woods to find that cow. He kept a-looking and a-looking, but he couldn't find it nowheres. Now, Danny Locks was very, very tired and come up on a great big old house out there in the woods. It was a house where them Bowdens lived at. So Danny Locks said, "I wonder if they'd mind if I just went inside to rest up a spell." See, them Bowdens wasn't home right then. They was out doing football things.
Yeah.
Recruiting, coaching them youngsters, even coaching against each other.
Yeah.
Well, Danny Locks went on in the house, looked around some, and made himself to home. He finally crawled up on that sofa and took a nap.
Uh-oh.
He's sleeping away when them three Bowdens come home. They was Papa Bowden, Tommy Bowden, and Terry Bowden. And when they come inside and got settled, Papa Bowden says, "Hey, somebody's done took my playbook." And Tommy Bowden says, "Yeah, somebody done took my playbook too." And Terry Bowden says, "I ain't got no playbook." I left Auburn sufficed, I just left mine. And then Papa Bowden says, "Hey, somebody's been looking at my list of recruits." And Tommy Bowden says, "Yeah, somebody's been looking at my recruiting list too." And Terry Bowden says, "Well, I ain't got no recruiting list. I'm in TV now." And then Papa Bowden says, "Well, hey, somebody's done opened the safe and looked at my big old contract." And Tommy Bowden says, "Yeah, somebody's been looking at my contract too. It ain't as big as yours, Daddy, but it's all right." And Terry Bowden says, "Well, somebody's been looking at my TV contract because I can't even find it." And Papa and Tommy Bowden says, "You got a contract, Terry?" And Terry says, "Yeah, and I know who's been looking at it because he's sleeping on the sofa right now and he's still holding it in his hand." And Papa Bowden come a-running to the living room and says, "Aha, I know that youngster. That's Danny Locks." And then Papa Bowden yelled out, "Get up from there, Danny Locks. Quit looking at our contracts and our playbooks and recruiting lists and get on home." So Danny Locks woke up with a fright and went running out that Bowden house. Right then, Papa Bowden yells out, "Hey, Danny Locks, remember that trick play we run on y'all back in '88? That punt rooski?" And Danny Locks yelled back, "Yeah, I remember it, and there's something you ought to remember too. Who was the last youngster to beat y'all at home? Ha, 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 ha." And Danny Locks run all the way back to his farm just to laugh. The end.
And went home to count some more money.
Yeah.
Well, one thing, we won't be watching the South Carolina game tonight against Vanderbilt as they try to pick up. Now, how many is it now? Tonight's going to be 18, right?
Pretty close.
Probably.
Well, if they're at 17, then it would be 18.
Yeah. But anyway, we'll be watching the Clemson game, of course. If we're watching TV tomorrow, we'll be watching the Tommy Bowden show as opposed to the South Carolina coaches show. And for anybody who's seen it, it's pretty depressing. It's basically half an hour of Lou saying, "I can't believe what's going on here, and we're going to try to fix it somehow, and I feel bad about it."
I tell you, you would make yourself happier by watching the History Channel and Korean War highlights.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, really.
It's sad. It's a very sad. Well, here are some highlights for those of you who don't get a chance to watch it.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Coach Lou Hoke Show. I'm Charlie O'Malley McElhaney McAlexander. And, Coach, this week we recap the South Carolina-Arkansas game.
Well, Charlie, this wasn't a game. A game is usually a contest between two or more people or groups to determine a winner. This wasn't a contest, and second, the winner was determined before the kickoff. This was a meeting, a gathering, perhaps an event.
Well, let's go to the action, Coach. Arkansas receiving the opening kick. It sails through the end zone, and the Razorbacks start on their 20.
Their first play from scrimmage is an 80-yard touchdown run. So far, things are going exactly as we figured.
And that was our Carolina Life Insurance embarrassing missed tackle of the day. Don't miss out on life. Call Carolina Life Insurance.
Now we're 5 minutes into the first quarter with Arkansas leading 35-0. We're on our own 2-yard line and try a handoff to their linebacker. It works perfectly, and Arkansas scores again.
That was our Burgertown handoff to the wrong team touchdown of the game. Brought to you by Burgertown. Remember, don't get it wrong. We do it right at Burgertown. Who was the quarterback on that play, Coach?
I don't know.
Okay, Coach, we're 10 minutes before the half. Arkansas leading 110-0. Your strategy here?
We wanted to run out the clock in the first half, so I told our team to walk through their plays, keep the ball in bounds, and take as many delay of game penalties as they could.
Arkansas seemed a little confused when you began walking instead of running.
Well, especially when we started walking toward our own goal line. So now it's 4th down and 63. We've walked it back to our own 4-yard line here, Charlie. We punt from the bad section. It's blocked, and Arkansas falls on it in the end zone for another score.
And that was our Metamucil blocked punt of the day. Don't get your punts blocked. Get Metamucil.
Now we're in the 4th quarter. Arkansas up by 321-7.
Coach, we couldn't figure out where Carolina scored the 7 points. Did we miss a touchdown somewhere?
No, Charlie, that's an obscure NCAA rule. For each 300 points, the opposing team is automatically awarded 7 points.
Okay, I'm glad you explained that, Coach. I thought we were going crazy. So that accounts for the final score. Arkansas 642, Carolina 14.
That's right, Charlie. We get 7 for every 300 Arkansas scored.
And that last invisible touchdown by the Gamecocks is our Invisible Pest Control touchdown of the day, sponsored by Invisible Pest Control of South Carolina. You won't see any bugs when you have the Invisible Pest Control Shield of Protection. Well, that was the final, Coach. 642-14 in favor of the Razorbacks. Next week, you face a much improved Vanderbilt team looking for a bowl bid.
Oh, goody gumdrops.
Coach, any point in showing up for that game?
Oh, it's homecoming. Why not?
But no plans to win.
No.
And that's our Franklin Mental Hospital depressing comment of the day. Brought to you by Franklin Mental. Don't give in to depression. Fight it at Franklin. That's it for another Coach Lou Hoke Show. I'm Charlie O'Malley, McElhaney, McAlexander. Until next week's overly sponsored show, so long.
Oh, man, I'll tell you. Network station. And the other night, as I mentioned before, Tommy Bowden has the radio show at 7 o'clock Thursdays. Bobby Bowden also has his radio show at 7 on Thursdays. We were able to hook the two of them up, and they had a little conversation, and I haven't heard it yet either. I'm looking forward to hearing it. Y'all want to hear it?
I want to hear it.
Let's hear it. Here's some highlights from their little conversation.
We're going to put our phone callers on hold for a moment and go to the Clemson Radio Network and longtime play-by-play voice of the Clemson Tigers, the legendary Jim Phillips, and brand spanking new head coach Tommy Bowden. Jim, Tommy, how you doing?
We're doing great, and we want to know how you and the dad coach are doing up there.
The dad coach. Well, Jim, Tommy, let the dad coach tell you. Bobby, you're on the air.
Jim,
yes.
tell Tommy to get out of town.
I'll tell you what.
Hey, first of all, Jim, I don't know who said that. He could horn in on my show. I didn't ask him to. He recruits my state. He takes my players. I wish he would get off now.
Bobby, there's one thing I have to say to you as regards that statement. If I tried to rush him out of town, I would be met by a posse because they love him here.
Well, that's good. That's what it's supposed to be.
Gene, how do you keep him up so late? Isn't it 7:45 down there?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, it is.
I'm staying up to 9, Dad.
I asked him if he could anticipate just exactly what you might be thinking of, and he said, "Oh yeah, that I can do. It's those players that I'm worried about."
I can tell what he's going to do is tackling the guys he gives it to. That's the hard part.
Well, that's no doubt about it. That's what it gets down to. And of course, Tommy and I both, I'm sure, have had to really make our players aware this is Florida State versus Clemson, not Tommy versus the old man. And y'all going to be so fired up, it ain't even fair.
Well,
I know exactly what y'all going to do. Y'all going to be so fired up. That crowd's going to go crazy.
But I remember you telling me when you play a team that's super aggressive that you run reverses and boots and nakeds and waggles. So I would imagine that's what you're going to do initially start the game. All that stuff I wrote down, I kept.
Yeah, that's what I know. You just don't know when.
I know. I got a good idea when. It's when you got that smile on your face and start doing cartwheels on the sideline.
Yeah, that's a dead giveaway.
That's a dead giveaway.
Dead giveaway for reverse.
You're just down from 3 cartwheels to 1.
Yeah.
Well, Bobby, I got to tell you, an omen that struck me about 4:30 this a.m. I awakened in a cold sweat. And then realized why, because I couldn't go back to sleep, and I flipped on TV, and guess what was on the classic sports channel?
What?
the 88 Florida State Clemson punt Brewski game.
Oh, boy.
And I said, uh-oh.
I told him I still got the napkin you wrote that on in church that one Sunday morning.
Yeah, and I told my coaches to, I know Brad Scott's up there, and he was on our staff when we ran that thing. I told our coaches to get ready for the punt Brewski because Tommy is liable to try to give it back to us.
Brad's got a tape about 40 minutes long of all the trick plays he ran with you in the 10 years he was there.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, we've cut that down to 20.
Yeah.
We've really cut that down.
You've cut that down. You don't need them now. That's the problem.
We don't need them as much as we used to, but I wouldn't be surprised if we don't need them Saturday.
Let me ask you, Coaches Bowden, I understand that a record crowd could be in the works for Saturday night's game. It's a historic occasion, father versus son, and I understand you're going to have about 10,000, 15,000 fans lined up outside the stadium listening. Is that true?
I believe, from what I understand, there's going to be maybe more than that can't get in that are just going to come, and it might be anywhere as many as 87,000. I think 85 is the record.
In the stadium.
Yeah, that's in the stadium.
That's great. That's the one thing about Clemson, Tommy, the times that we've played up there. I mean, you know, the Southeastern Conference is so proud of their big stadiums. Clemson, their atmosphere can match any of them. We've played there. We've played Florida. We've played LSU. We've played Auburn. And I guarantee the crowd at Clemson can match any of them.
Tommy, you have one last thing you want to tell your dad before we hang up?
Well, I've put a disclaimer on Mother. Any information she's been sending the last week after I've heard her comments, I've thrown away. I put through the shredder. I think she sent me false information.
Yeah.
All right, and Papa Bowden, do you have anything you want to, one final thing you want to say to son Tommy?
Well, if she sent false information, she bit it because I laid it around the house for the tape. You know, I knew what she'd do with it. So Tommy's got all those fake plays that we were going to run.
All right. Well, coaches, best of luck on Saturday night.
See you Friday, Dad.
See you, Gene. See you, Coach.
All right. Jim Phillips and Tommy Bowden.
Okay, that obviously was Coach Tommy and Bobby Bowden. And I'll tell you what, if we get to see Bobby Bowden do one cartwheel, I think that's worth the price of admission right there.
We thought he was funny in that Burger King spot.
Keep the medical staff handy.
Well, South Carolina, our friends, the Gamecocks, are traveling to Tennessee to knock off, to give Tennessee another loss today. And that'll be a great one in front of 109,000 screaming Tennessee fans. Coach Lou Holtz can't feel real good about this after the season they've had. And, of course, extending the very good possibility of extending the nation's longest losing streak.
And can't be any fun looking at road games. Of course, this is their last road game, and then they finish with Florida and Clemson at home.
They're going to see a lot of orange for the next few weeks. And here is Coach Lou expressing his sentiments about playing on the road.
Head coach for sale or rent. Rescue me from my torment because we get killed at home and killed on the road. You know, this job ain't fun no more. I dread coming in the door, and I know we'll lose at home and get killed on the road. And we lose players left and right. Lose in daytime, lose at night. And now our fans are cold as ice, 'cause we lose at Williams-Brice. And you know it really stinks when you lose every week. And we got the nation's longest losing streak. We lose to Vanderbilt in Arkansas, Kentucky, Georgia, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Tennessee. I just can't face another game, and I'm running out of folks to blame. We got General Custer syndrome, killed on the road. When we try to run the ball, it gets fumbled away. We lose a few players on every play. We never move forward, we're stuck in reverse. Don't tell me there is nothing to this old chicken curse. So if my house has for sale signs, blame it on those bad headlines. They read, Gamecocks lose at home and get killed on the road. Killed on the road. Killed on the road.
Oh, yeah. Coach Lou singing about the hardships of the Gamecocks, not only at home but on the road as well. We have a special guest with us on the stage this morning.
Hold it, we need a drum roll.
The governor of the great state of South Carolina, the Honorable James Hodges.
Yeah.
And the crowd goes wild.
Governor Hodges, it's great to have you up here. This is the first time we've seen you at Clemson, and I know you're a big football fan, and so it makes me wonder why you've wasted time going to games in Columbia this year.
That's a good question, I'll tell you. But I brought a couple of plays that I've given Carolina to use this year to Clemson today.
Oh, God.
I can't decide whether to give them to Duke or to Clemson. I don't know which.
If they're plays you gave to South Carolina, let's give them to Duke.
Well, actually, I've got a 4-year-old son, and there's some talk he might get a few snaps at center in the Carolina game next week. And my wife and I are very proud of it.
Well, Jim, I know you are a great football fan, and you really are proud. And as governor, you part of your job is pull for both teams in the state, and you're a South Carolina graduate.
Normally when people come up here, though, they normally wear a little orange or put a little tiger paw. You've come dressed in very diplomatic colors, I see.
Yeah, he's got Team South Carolina on the back of his
You notice it's on the back. Okay, he's being handed a Clemson cap now.
Yeah.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, the newest Clemson fan.
There we go.
The governor of the great state of South Carolina.
Now he's looking gubernatorial. Or he's looking like Strom. He's got an orange head.
Yeah, he's trying to steal my thunder.
Strom and I have the same haircut. We have to do that.
I can refer you to my hair plug doctor if you need him.
Thanks, Strom.
You know, as the junior senator of South Carolina here, I just want to show all these fans here. Now, when you're leaving today, the governor will not be directing traffic out of here.
You ain't kidding, but I'll be in it. I can guarantee you that.
You're going to be in it firsthand to watch and see.
That's
to know
right.
if you got to make a change.
Well, thanks to Fritz, though, the governor still has furniture in the governor's mansion because, Fritz tried to clean them out a few years ago.
Hey, you're going way back now.
Well, Governor, I know one of the other things, I was in your office not too long ago. I had the pleasure of seeing you down there, and the first thing I saw was this autographed picture, I think the boys, Luke and Sam, with Coach Holtz. Then I found out you've got a football helmet signed by Tommy Bowden, I believe in that.
Absolutely.
You as the chief executive of the state that pays them all this money, and you get 2 autographs?
2 autographs, believe it or not.
I think you can do better than that.
And he tried to get a Bobby Bowden, but there was no way.
We're working on that one, too.
Oh, well, it's great to have you. You're staying for the game today?
I sure am. I've got to see one win this year. I've been to these Carolina games. I've got to at least see one, right?
All right.
So I came up here for it.
Tiger fans, let's give Governor Hodges a big win today. Let him see some good football. Governor Jim Hodges doing a great job for South Carolina. We appreciate him coming by the show.
Okay, we're going to take a break. We have a lot of Clemson fans here. Anybody cheering for the Gamecocks today to beat Florida?
You know what? Now,
Here's a city of 3 million people, and not one person yelled out.
Bill, have we got a minute to talk to a couple of fans? Have we got a minute?
Sure.
All right, I want to get some fans here because I want to ask a question. Y'all come to the mic. I want to know, do we on this show give the Gamecocks too hard a time? We have been accused of that, and I want to know. Somebody come in here and talk to me. Young man, what's your name?
Andrew Finley.
Andrew, do we give the Gamecocks too hard a time?
No, but who cares?
No, but who cares? Andrew's got. Who cares whether we give them a hard time or not? Does anybody think? I mean, seriously, do we rough them up too much?
No.
No. See, there you go. We know South Carolina fans listen to this show. Why? I don't know.
But is this a true focus group?
If we go to Columbia, we might get different results.
Well,
yeah. It's all in fun, though.
It is in fun. We love this.
But because people think that we're too rough on the Gamecocks, we offer a little bit of equal time. And here is Lou with some equal time on the Tiger Tailgate Show.
And Tommy Bowden's done a wonderful job, and it's obvious that Clemson got a far better looking, a younger, and a more intelligent guy than me. But I got to be honest with you. I want to go play at Tennessee and Georgia and Florida, and those are the folks that I want to go play against.
I hear that team a coming. Their bus is pulling in. I don't know who the team is, but I bet we don't win. I'm stuck in coaching prison, head coach at USC. Why the heck do we play Florida, Georgia, and Tennessee? When I was just a baby, my daddy told me, Lou, son, grow up and coach football, but whatever you do, Don't ever coach the Gamecocks. Boy, it don't get no worse. Son, you'll just become a victim of the dreaded chicken curse.
I cannot promise you that we will win. I cannot promise you we'll win because the schedule is difficult in the SEC, but I want to tell you this. There is no reason in this world why we can't be as good as anybody in the country, and our goal is to win the national championship.
I listened to my daddy and I grew to love the game. I went from school to school and finally coached at Notre Dame. But then I did something stupid, and that's what tortures me. 'Cause I'm stuck in coaching prison, head coach at UNC.
A lot of people are going to make comments about, well, you know, what happened in the last 12 hours. You know, it's not easy to put everything together. The lure of the challenge, absolutely, because a lot of people say you can't win at South Carolina, you're making a mistake if you go there. And they're absolutely right. I can't win here.
When I'm looking at our schedule, I say, man, we're up the creek. Every game adds to the nation's longest running losing streak. When you're stuck in coaching prison, it's worse than breaking rocks. Yeah, I'd rather be in Sing Sing than head coach of the Cocks.
Yeah, some people told Lou Holtz he was making a mistake by going to South Carolina, but he sure showed them.
Yeah, you know, people accuse us of giving them a hard time, but they do a good job by themselves.
I mean, 19 in a row. We didn't do that. We had nothing to do with that. And going after number 20. Number 20.
And I think there's a decent chance that they'll get number 20 today against Florida.
Bert, have stopped the show. Bird Dog has something to say.
Well, y'all talking about them Cocks, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm going to tell all of you something that you don't know. They're going to go 6-5. They're going to lose 6 at home and 5 on the road.
We're going to take a break. Back with more. Stay with us on the Tiger Tailgate Show.
Hi, Gamecock fans. Welcome to the Coach Lou Holtz Show. I'm Charlie Mack, and joining me once again is Coach Lou Holtz. Coach, last week was a much-needed open date for your team.
That's right, Charlie. It was a great win for us.
Coach, it wasn't a win. You didn't play anybody.
Well, we didn't lose. As far as I'm concerned, that's a win.
Coach, it was an open date.
It's by so, Charlie. It was a win.
Oh, okay. Whatever.
Can we get to the highlights?
What highlights? You were off.
So, this is the 1 week we don't have to watch a loss, and I want to look at them. It's my show.
All right. Roll the tape.
It was a beautiful day at Williams-Brice Stadium, and I was proud of our fans for showing up like that.
Now, why do you think the fans turned out like that, Coach?
It was their only chance, their one chance to sit in the stadium this season and not see us lose, so they grabbed it.
And I think it was a record crowd this year, Coach.
Oh, yeah. Here we are, Charlie. It's early Saturday morning here in this shot. The team files into the cafeteria for breakfast. Petty stands up, throws a muffin to one of our receivers across the room. Beautiful catch by Jamal Kelly.
Kelly really went up for that one, Coach. And Petty seemed to be back to his old form again.
Well, unfortunately, he walks over for another glass of milk, slips on a piece of bacon, and we lose him for the rest of the season.
And you sure could have used him for the Florida game coming up, Coach.
The next shot here, Charlie, we're back at the football dorm. The team's watching some tape here.
Coach, this is where Corey Atkins and Cecil Caldwell become really ill. Was it food poisoning from breakfast?
No, Charlie, they got sick after watching tape on Florida. But I think they'll be back in time for the game Saturday.
And, Coach, it has to be encouraging the fact that Vanderbilt played such a close game last week with the Gators and held them to only 13 points. How do you think having to struggle to beat Vanderbilt will affect Florida heading into the game with your team?
Well, I think it'll make them mad.
So then you would expect...
a pounding, unfortunately, yes.
Coach, this season's rapidly coming to a close. Will you prepare for the final 2 games any differently?
Well, Charlie, it's no accident that we've hired Dr. Jack Kevorkian as our team doctor.
And, of course, After the Clemson game, you have to head right out on the recruiting trail. Any thoughts on how you plan to snag those signees for Carolina?
Well, I got 357 Magnum and plenty of ammunition.
I'm sure it'll come in handy. Join us next week for highlights, of the Carolina-Florida game on the Coach Lou Hoke Show. So long.
Well, we talk a lot about Tommy Bowden. Of course, in Columbia, they talk about a lot about Lou. And here he is with the 12 weeks of football.
On the 4th of September, the Wolfpack gave to me a loss, not a victory. On the 11th of September, the Bulldogs gave to me a loss between the hedges and our first in the SEC. On the 18th of September, the Pirates let us score one crummy field goal loss between the hedges and one more to the losing streak. Later on in September, Jackie Sherrill gave to me a great big goose egg crummy field goal loss between the hedges and one more to the losing streak. On the 2nd of October, the Rebels handed me the nation's longest losing streak. Great big goose egg, crummy field goal, lost to UGA, and one more to the losing streak. On the 9th of October, Kentucky handed me another conference loss, nation's longest losing streak. Great big goose egg, crummy field goal, lost to UGA, and one more to the losing streak. On the 16th of October, we went to Arkansas. Razorbacks killed us, big conference loss, nation's longest losing streak. Great big goose egg, crummy field goal, lost to UGA, and one more to the losing streak. Then we lost, let's see, to Vandy. Tennessee had an open week, lost to Florida. On this day in November, it's Tigers USC. Bet we get pounded, lost to the Gators. Love that open week, hated Tennessee. Even lost to Vandy. Razorbacks killed us, big conference loss. Nation's longest losing streak. Great big goose egg, crummy field goal, lost to UGA. And now I gotta go and recruit.
And don't you know that's going to be an easy job in the offseason this year?
I think we got the possibility of winning 2 next year.
Yeah.
Somebody tell me who the Gamecocks are opening against next year. I'm just trying to imagine how long this thing could possibly go on. New Mexico State, we're just told.
Okay.
There we go.
we don't know much about them, but they're liable to be heavily favored.
Yeah. They might be tougher than Open Date University was.
Yeah.
We have Duane standing by, and Duane's going to do a special song for today. Woo! What is it?
This is very, very special, Bill. I like to say why, too, because my brother Joey, who usually comes down and runs sound for me during the Gamecock game, and usually my brother Phil's doing it, is a great banjo player. And he's been bringing his banjo to this gig for 4 years. And today it's going to pay off. I thought this, I feel something special today. I don't know what, it's something very, very special. So I wrote an original song for today's occasion. It's called the Shoulda, Coulda, Woulda song.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
And you know why? You know where it came from, actually? I was reading in the paper the first of this week that Arturo Freeman had noted that had Carolina not had that touchdown call back in the first half against Florida, that they would have won the game.
Oh, that's one of the wouldas.
That they would have won the game, yeah. That's what he said. And I just, I was thinking about that, and I was going, man, I like to go to his math class where a touchdown counts for 17 points. Here's a shoulda, coulda, woulda song, everybody. Let's get the coulda out of USC, and the couldas and the shouldas, and we just needed threes. I can't take no more excuses after 21 straight loses. Let's beat the coulda out of USC. Now we've all got a friend from USC. It's getting pretty hard to pretend if you're anything like me. How they'd be undefeated if they hadn't been so cheated by those dirty, rotten, low-down referees. How they could have beaten Georgia and should have beaten Vandy and would have beaten Mississippi State. And how they should be 8-2 and going to a bowl game if only they had had a couple of breaks. Like scoring a few more points, for heaven's sakes. Well, let's beat the coulda out of USC. And the wouldas and the shouldas and the we just needed threes. I can't take no more excuses after 21 straight loses. So let's beat the shoulda out of USC. Joey Evans on the banjo. Georgia, and they should have beaten Vandy, and they would have beaten Mississippi State, and how they should be 8-2 and going to a bowl game if only they had had a couple of breaks. Come on, give me a break, really. Let's beat the coulda out of USC, and the wouldas and the shouldas and the we just needed threes. I can't take no more excuses after 21 straight loses. Let's beat the coulda out of USC. Yeah, let's beat the woulda out of USC. Now here's the big finish, y'all. Let's beat the shoulda out of USC.
Duane Evans, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, Joey Evans, everybody.
With Joey Evans on. And by the way, we played golf with Joey a couple of weeks ago, and I got to tell you, he handles that banjo a whole lot better than he handles a 3-wood, don't you?
Enough said.
Well, right now on the Tiger Tailgate Show, this is for the Gamecock fans because we have a lot of those around here today, too, because it's not been easy this year being a coach named Lou, is it?
Well, that's right. And, you know, Lou, walking into this season, he said that he sort of made some comments that would indicate that this game wasn't all that important to him in terms of their whole overall plan and schedule. In fact, he was looking forward to all those other really big teams.
Like in the SEC.
In the SEC.
Not those little ACC teams.
Right.
That's a basketball conference.
Oh, yeah.
Well, here it is. Coach Lou.
When I left Notre Dame, they thought I was done. They talked about all those games we had won. A lot of folks said, well, we're going to miss old Lou. So I tried a few years on the old TV, but I reckon coaching wasn't done with me. Gamecocks hired me back at age 62. Everybody said you want to do this again and coach a team that was 1-10. Why not retire and kick back in Malibu? Well, I got a feeling down in my gut. I might be crazy and I might be a nut. It's part of the charm that goes with a coach named Lou. So I hit Columbia, took the job, met the press and a cheering mob, told a few jokes and we had a laugh or two. Told them we could win a championship, signed the deal and they hired my son Skip. It's 2 for the price of 4 with a coach named Lou. Yeah, we moved the family to USC. There's me, my wife, and my son makes 3. Everybody's wondering how Lou's gonna do. It seems like an insurmountable task, but like I tell them whenever they ask, all I gotta do to improve is just win 2. But there was one comment I made about the big game every year it's played. Somebody asked, well, now what about Clemson, Lou? Well, I let it fly off the top of my head. In case you haven't heard it, here's what I said. Speaking of the game between us and Clemson U.
Tommy Bowden's done a wonderful job, and it's obvious that Clemson got a far better looking, a younger and a more intelligent guy than me. But I got to be honest with you. I want to go play in Tennessee and Georgia and Florida. Those are the folks that I want to go play against. So, I hope that the Clemson-South Carolina game carries as much importance as the Florida State games have in recent years.
Georgia came out wrong, but there it went. Kind of a backhanded compliment. You're going to get that with an outspoken coach, Dave Lou. I may want to play Florida and Tennessee, but they don't take us too seriously. All we got right now is my big name. When it comes to Georgia and LSU, once you get past the coach Dave Lou, we're just everybody's homecoming game. Well, if our game doesn't carry the weight of the Florida Gators and Florida State, and if it's not as big by comparison, We can change that fact if we play smart. We've got to begin by doing our part. The Gamecocks got to win more games than one.
I want to go play in Tennessee and Georgia and Florida. Those are the folks.
So I'll get my wish now, and we'll just see how much fun this job's going to be, and I'll keep an eye on how the Tigers do. I hope I won't have to eat my words, and I hope I don't get massacred. And I say, Florida, Tennessee, Georgia, give me anybody but Clemson U.
I want to go play in Tennessee and Georgia and Florida, and those are the folks that I want to go play against.
I just would love to ask the question, Coach, was it nearly as much fun playing Florida, Tennessee, and Georgia as you thought it would be?
Obviously expecting to do a little better.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's going to be any more fun playing Clemson today. We'll find out. We'll take a break. Back with more on the Tiger Tailgate Show. I see somebody in the crowd here. I see a fellow, Jack Leggett. Would you step over just a moment?
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
There he is. Men's baseball coach, Jack
Yes,
Leggett. How you doing, Jack? Come on up here.
Now, the football team is playing the Carolina Gamecocks today. Now, do y'all play them in baseball, too?
Yeah, I believe we have. Every year we have a couple game series with them. We've done quite well the last few years.
In fact, how did you do against them last year?
Beat them twice.
Yeah?
Yay!
And how about the year before that?
Beat them, I think, 4 times.
Well, that's great. What do you think is going to happen today? You're around the
there's
athletic
absolutely no doubt. Are we going to win today? No question about it.
All right.
Automatic. Going to a bowl game.
Well, we look forward to the baseball season.
Well, I appreciate it.
Good to see you here.
All right.
Yeah.
See you guys.
All right.
In the springtime.
Jack Leggett.
Jack's one of the biggest guys in perpetuating that curse, you know.
Yeah,
He's kept it going.
We haven't mentioned the curse today, have we? We may mention it soon on the Tiger Tailgate Show. Of course, it is tough to be a Gamecock this year. And the 0-10, you know, we're talking about them possibly going 0-11 for the first time this century. I saw a bumper sticker, had the South Carolina emblem on it. It says anybody can have a bad century. And,
people get clever this time of year.
They really do.
Hey, y'all shut up. Wait till the next millennium.
That's our millennium, 21. The question is, who wants to be a Gamecock?
Time for America's most exciting game show, Who Wants to Be a Gamecock? Our first contestant is John McCarter of Charleston. John, you know the rules. Answer all the questions correctly. You win an entire Gamecock wardrobe, admission to USC, and 2 tickets to some bowl the Gamecocks might be invited to sometime in the next millennium. Are you ready?
I'm ready, Rage.
Okay, John. What is the name of the Gamecocks mascot? Is it Colonel Clucky, Finger-Licking Freddy, Chicken Boy, or Cocky?
I'm going with Cocky, Rage.
Your final answer?
Final answer.
Let's take a look. It is Cocky.
All right.
All right, John. One more question, and you're a Gamecock, okay? Gamecock George Rogers won the Heisman in 1980. How many touchdowns did George Rogers score against Clemson? Was it 21, 13, 5, or 0?
I'll use a lifeline. I want to call a friend.
All right, John, who are you going to call?
I'm going to call George Rogers.
George Rogers. Okay, let's call it. You'll see if George is home. Do you know George, John?
Not very well.
Hello?
Is this George Rogers?
Yeah.
George, we're calling from the show Who Wants to Be a Gamecock? Look, John wants to ask you, how many touchdowns did you score against Clemson?
Shut up.
You heard his answer, John.
Oh, Rage. I'll say 0.
0. Let's see. Right again.
All right.
The answer is 0. And John, you are a Gamecock. You get the Gamecock wardrobe, admission to USC, and bowl tickets for sometime in the next millennium.
Well, just keep it, Rage. Come to think of it, who wants to be a Gamecock?
John, you're the 4th winner who's declined the prizes this week. Oh, well. Join us next time for Who Wants to Be a Gamecock?
I think that's a much more entertaining show than that millionaire thing that he does. Georgia didn't take it too well, I guess.
No.
Well, Duane Evans is here, and Duane's going to do a song for us, and this is one of his new ones. This is for today's game, specifically, right?
Well, yeah, but I hope we'll be able to use this for many, many, many years to come.
We'll just have to we'll have to change the numbers a little bit.
No, I don't think so, Bill.
Oh, that's right. It's about the season. Yeah, you're right. You're exactly right.
If you think about it, and, well, this is an original song, and it's entitled "Our Perfect Season." It goes a little something like this. Only one thing as sweet as heaven, the Gamecocks, 0-11, 0-11, 0-11, 0-11, 0-11. Only one thing as sweet as heaven, the Gamecocks, 0-11. They got the worst offense in the NCAA. Field goal kicker no good from only 15 yards away. A defense that ain't that bad, but the offense is very sad. At least, if you don't think so, you ain't seen them play. You know what I'm saying? They're going 0-11. Come on. Going 0-11. They're going 0-11. 0-11. Only one thing, the sweet as heaven. What is it? Gamecocks 0-11. Look, guitar for you. Come on. 0-11. They're going 0-11. 0-11. Only one thing, sweet as heaven, the Gamecocks 0-11. Yeah, it's been 2 years since they even won a game. They got a coach that longs for good old Notre Dame. And right now, they're 0-10. But it's looking mighty grim. And if you don't think so, you ain't seen them play. You know what I'm saying. Cause they're going 0-11. 0-11. They're going 0-11. Come on, y'all. 0-11. Let them hear you. Going 0-11. Nada and 11. Goose egg and 11. Zilch and 11. They're going 0-11. 0-11. 0-11. 0-11. Going 0-0-0-0-11. Going 0-11. Going 0-11. Only one thing, as sweet as heaven, Gamecocks going 0-11. Woo! Duane Evans!
No, baby. I love that song. Oh, that one makes me cry. That was great, Duane.